Good afternoon. It's Joyful Christian Hermit. Gaudete Sunday. It is rejoice time. Gaudete. Gloria, Gloria. Rejoice. Give joy. Because this is the third Sunday in Advent. I have my one sweater that is more of a pinkish lavender color for Gaudete Sunday. And it's also, I wear it on Lettere Sunday in Lent and the week after, because Lent has a Sunday that has a time to ease up some, not to take it all so in such somber manner. Give us a little refreshment in our Lenten journey, in our penance. But now it's in Advent waiting and coming. We're coming. So we rejoice this day because we're also been in Advent seriously pondering the second coming of Christ and the state of our soul, how ready we are or not ready for Christ to come and take us all and be the end of the world, end of this world as we know it. So it's multifaceted. And amidst all this, Advent coming, I've been coming to realities. Part of it's the reality that anyone with age faces of that time that they realize that they're losing it, that they're not really able to keep up. They're not really able to function well. And most of those people have been prudent but those others had surprises come along. But for a hermit, you're temporally alone. You're not spiritually at all alone, and in essence not even temporally alone. God will take care of me. He provides things. And one thing he provided was, my last video was sort of just talking to myself into this little window to the world, having a little review of conscience, pep talk, talk of reality of what I've done. And then, of course, I went off onto my little tributaries that popped up, off onto those tangents of memories and this and that, which I would like to stop. But was facing my pain is so much higher. With my mid-back is bad, getting worse. So here I am back in bed. I was up getting the dogs their breakfast this morning and took them out and got myself an egg and ate it, laying down, resting, then got up, took them out again, decided to chop up my little fruit salad I have for lunch usually, and just doing all that standing to chop up half of an apple and a little bit of pineapple and pecans and coconut, whipping cream. Oh, it's delightful. It's like ambrosia salad, sort of, but fresh stuff. And by then, my back was just maybe 10 minutes. Oh my gosh, I get back down. And high pain then makes me nauseated. So, and then I, forget that I should take my breakthrough pain meds. So I'm going to do that. And one of the viewers mentioned going natural. Well, thanks be to God, opioids are natural. So I'm grateful. Most people would be horrified. In fact, this morning, when I took my morning pill, that is a 12-hour release, extended release, I thanked God for that little pill. But I said, Lord, I would have never have thought, way back, I would have myself been horrified to think of what I'm taking and that I'm so grateful for it. I would not be able to think or function at all without it. And so I've had to learn a lot. It's very humbling. I've had to learn a lot about what I would have been with everybody else, thinking horrible thoughts or ganging up on anyone who had to take opioids for pain. But if you read up on arachnoiditis, even the Mayo Clinic site online will clarify, especially anyone with arachnoiditis. It's the only med that will even help take the edge off. But I'm at the point with this back pain, so the mid back so terrible now. I still have lumbar pain and neck and the headache, and the leg pain and the foot pain, but this middle back is excruciating. It needs surgery. I know it. That's why the neurosurgeon, wanted me to try injections and things. And I don't know if they're going to if they will operate, because it's getting into the thoracic spine, and then that will break down eventually. But if it gets intolerable, I know he won't make me suffer more. But I'll have to just take more of the breakthrough pain med and see if that helps. But so that's it's amazing what will come to be very grateful for, that before we would have been very judgmental and opposed to under any circumstance. We couldn't comprehend how anyone would legitimately need something like that until you're in a body that is having that kind of pain. So and arachnoiditis progresses. So after that pep talk in the middle of the night, I didn't sleep well. Well, I had a lot of caffeine with the diet, 0 Coke with my protein drink mixed in it. I had 2 glasses of that yesterday to try to get me moving more. And probably the added little breakthrough pain med would help as much or more with that, because it's the pain that's making me exhausted. But I did do I made my charts like I suggested. We've got to take action. We cannot stay stymied when we're overwhelmed, when we know that everything is out of control and that we're in over our heads. I did calculated risk taking with this house, knowing that, doing manual labor and this kind of stuff, I love installing windows, framing them in, and I just love doing this kind of hands-on work. And it's very fulfilling and creative, and this house was really ugly on the interior, but I've made improvements in it, and just the painting, but also it had this gorgeous view, and just a tiny window in the bedroom, a tiny window in the kitchen, 1 window in the dining room, and all this view. I have now windows all across, and across from me in this room, there was this big long patio out there, and with an overhang for shade, and there was a window over there, and I thought, forget the window, put a full view glass door in there, so you can go out onto the patio from the bedroom, but also see a full view, the rest of the view out that way now. So, it's just with a little mercy. I'll take you out this will be fast because I have to take her out. I had a couple of pie pumpkins that I baked a couple weeks ago, and so I found this old recipe from like the second year I was married, or even the first year. It was a president's wife had this pumpkin pie recipe in the LA Times. Mercy, come here, honey. Come here. Patient. I'll let you out. Anyway, I wasn't aware of this, just fell out with the recipe. It was old and yellowed. I didn't do the crust. I can't stand to do anything like that, and I don't need crust. But I do the filling stuff and bake it in a big container and then eat on it for several days. So that's all done. and I poured a little bourbon in it for a little added flavor because this president's wife had a little bourbon in her pie and pecans in it. But here was this little quote from Teresa of Avila that fell out. And I don't remember that was part of it, but obviously it was in the LA Times back in like 1973 or 74. The Lord doesn't look so much at the greatness of our works as at the love with which they are done. See how I just needed this. God is helping me understand and get with it, encouraging me, and I'm trying to encourage you from these little things. But this was like a little grin, as Coyne would say, a grin from God. I call it an exclamation point from God. Pay attention. Mercy, come over here, honey. She's got to go out. So it doesn't matter at the greatness of what we do, or the amount of what we do, or the time we're able to spend doing something. I got to keep that in mind. Doesn't matter how much I get done, but it's the love with which I do it, and it's the attitude that we have of not of all that we're not able to do, but the glory and the joy and the thanksgiving to God, the gaudete of what we can do. So I have these different things. I said, in a fuddle, can't think what to do. Then, okay, standing tasks. If I feel like I can stand or do a little bit, then I have all these lists of things to do. Bed tasks I can do in bed. Videos are on that. Christmas cards, a letter to Aunt Marilou that I've put off. Emailing, like to Dr. Elizabeth Wilhelmson, who is the world's leading expert on John of the Cross, or was when I took her class in Avila back in 2005. What a great, great friend and woman, professor, brilliant, loves the church, loves God, and I haven't emailed her in a long time. And then, even things like pay bills, pray, read, do videos, research. As I mentioned, instead of turning to news to distract, which is so easy, that's why I do it. And with the idea of keeping up with what I can pray for and what I can offer my pain for, as a positive use of it, mentally know that I can offer it for this or that person. I read about a real estate woman who was murdered by her husband in Texas, Austin, Texas area. It's been a couple months, but I didn't know that. I just saw it, some new update on it. I thought, well, I can offer this for him, for her, and for their 4 children who are left without a mother and going to be without a father too now. Which I guess I don't think they liked him too well. He was very abusive of the mother, and they saw it. And she tried to leave, and he killed her. Well, it's alleged. They have lots of clues, but see, I read too much of it. I don't need to read that much. So anyway, all this stuff I can do, list stuff to sell online. Then I have moving around tasks that I can do that are more up and moving. So that doesn't kill my back as much, but it's getting to the point being up at all does. But I've got to push through. We've got to keep going. Attitude, do it with love. It's the love that matters to God. And then calls I need to make, keep putting off calling my eye doctor, set up appointment that I couldn't go to because I was ill that day. Then errands I need to run. And here it is, going on 2, and I've done really nothing. I wrote a couple of long responses. So here's this video. There was that quote. This is my little chart. And then I'm just going to cross off with an orange color pen. I use different colors. Since it's Lent, I used purple for the actual task, and then black, like, black and white. You'd better get to it. This is serious. In a fuddle, can't think what to do. Well, hopefully I'll think to look at this. and then take action and then go down. There's just so much to choose from. I'm hoping I can decide. That's the next step. And decide with love. Keep a sense of humor, but I forgot to take the dogs out many times a day. That keeps me forced up and active. And then we just have to face it. Whatever happens, happens. And if I'm in here with the mess, I'm in here with the mess. And everything's going along the same. So, okay, we're ready. God bless His real presence in us. Gaudete, Gaudete Sunday. Third Sunday of Advent already. I haven't read books on Mary, but I'm thinking about her. She came to this point in her life. It said that she had a maidservant, but she came to this point of not being able to do anymore. All right, honey. I know she's serious when you bark. God bless you all.